Are you feeling stuck, weighted down? Does anxiety, depression, negative thoughts, or pain seem to hit you from out of nowhere? Hi, I'm glad I found you. My name is Anthony Mowry of Ropes and Wings. I'm a quantum healing hypnosis practitioner, and I guide clients on a journey of self-healing discovery to find and release the root causes of these issues. If you'd like to schedule an online healing hypnosis session, please visit ropesandwings.com. I love you all. I'll see you soon. Pass your awareness down the body, starting at the head, and let me know if you find anything.
In the chest.
What sensation do you get in the chest?
Tension.
Let's have Archangel Michael wrap a net of white light around that tension in the chest, all the way around where that energy exists and is attached. And as you focus deeper on that tension in the chest, what color do you sense that to be?
Brown.
And I'd like to speak to that brown energy causing tension in the chest. I'd like to speak to it. And if it had anything to say to me, what would it say?
Can't.
Say that again.
I can't.
What is it that you're doing there in this one? Why do you say you can't?
It's doubt.
The Tao.
Doubt.
So this is a free will universe. You don't have permission to be there in this one. What is it that you're doing there?
I'm just sitting here.
Do you ever remember a time of having a human body?
Yes.
What name did they used to call you when you had a human body?
John.
It's good to meet you, John. How old are you, John?
36.
And at 36 years old, John, what year did you come out of your human body?
It was in the 1970s.
Mm-hmm. John, what happened in the 1970s that caused your body to die?
I killed myself.
John, what did you use to kill yourself?
A knife.
Where did you use that knife on your body?
I cut my neck.
Mm-hmm. And as you cut your neck and you come out of your human body, what happened next? Where'd you go to?
It was dark.
Mm-hmm.
And I just stayed near the ground.
Yeah. Where did you stay at? Where'd you find this one at? What attracted you to him?
It was in the woods.
Uh-huh. How old was he and what was he going through in his life?
He was young, maybe 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm. And what was he going through at 7 or 8 years old? What was happening in his life?
There's some kind of uncertainty.
Mm-hmm. And John, were you trying to help him with this uncertainty?
No, it was the same. I was attracted because it was the same vibration, the
Mm-hmm.
same frequency.
Yes. So John, I know you didn't mean to, but unfortunately, since you didn't cross over correctly, you brought issues with you, emotional and physical issues. What issues did you bring to this one? What issues have you caused?
I caused his self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I give him tension, a sensation of tension in his chest.
Yes. And does this go ahead?
I pass my suicidal thoughts to him.
Mm-hmm.
The depression,
Yes.
the lack.
Mm-hmm. What other issues might you cause so I can help you both to heal, John?
I take him away from his true self.
Mm-hmm.
I distract him.
Why do you do that, John? Why do you take him away from his true self?
I don't know. It's just what I did. So
Hmm.
I started doing it to him.
Yeah. You cause him anxiety as well?
Yeah, it's part of the sensation in the chest.
Hmm.
It's linked to the emotions.
Yes. Is there any other physical or emotional issues that you might cause to him, John?
Those are the only things I do, but it causes other issues as like a side effect.
Hmm. I see. Can you tell us what those issues that are a side effect of it?
Yeah, it's because he's in a heightened emotional state. He's constantly in like a fight or flight mode,
Hmm.
causes him adrenal fatigue,
Hmm.
and he becomes very tired.
Yeah. Anything else, John, that we should be aware of?
No,
Thank you for letting us know, John. So since this one has asked me here to help him, I can in turn help you. Are you wanting me to help you?
I'm not sure.
Well, let's have the angels that are gathered around you. Let's have them give you a message or maybe show you an image of what your journey could look like if you choose to after you leave this one. What do they show you or say to you?
Be a man in a pickup truck.
Hmm. So that's a possible journey you could go on instead.
I think it's my dad.
Beautiful. What is happening with your
I think
dad?
he wants me to get in the truck with him.
Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. So are you ready for us to help you so you can go on another journey with your dad?
Yes.
Beautiful. So John, what I'd like you to do is let's go back to that day when you killed yourself with that knife and you cut your throat. Go back to that day. You will not feel any physical pain. I just want you to look at it as if it was happening to somebody else. And when you come out of the body, instead of being in that darkness, I want you to look all the way around you. I want you to look for that light as source. It'll be a light that pulls you towards it, draws you towards it, and the angels are pointing to that light. Tell me when you find that light, John.
Yeah, I see it.
Beautiful. Now, John, I want you to look into that light. And when you look into that light, who do you see there waiting for you to help guide you back home?
My family.
What does your family say to you, John?
They're not saying anything, but they're like waving me to come up.
Hmm. They might not be able, they could use telepathy to speak to you. What do they say to you as they're waving you?
They said it's time to come home.
Beautiful. How does that make you feel, John?
Happy.
Yes. And since you see your family there in the light, they're waiting to help guide you back. What do you think of that? How do you feel?
I feel good.
Beautiful. Are you ready to go with them so they can help guide you on another journey so you can heal?
Yes.
Beautiful. So, John, what I want you to do is as I count from 3 to 1, we're going to send a pulse of blue light through that net that I have you wrapped in. This is going to help you to detach. I want you to pull all of your energy out of this one. Pull it all into the net. Make sure it's all into the net. The angels can help you with that. And I want this one to feel this energy of John lifting off his chest as we do this. 3, sending that pulse of blue light through the net, swirling through the net, helping John to detach. He's pulling all of his energy into the net, detaching, putting it into the net. This might tickle a little bit, but it's all being pulled into the net. It's all in the net now. Let's gently lift out now. 2, almost out, and 1, out in the lightest source with his family. But John, before you go, is there anything you'd like to tell this one?
You have a good heart. Follow it.
Beautiful. Thank you, John. Is there anything that this one would like to tell John before he goes?
And you love and light.
Beautiful. So let's go ahead and cut that final cord between these two, releasing John to go into the light with his family so he can heal and continue on another journey. And as we watch him go into the light to heal and continue on his journey, what color light can we bring in for healing for you?
Blue and green.
Beautiful. I'm going to strike the tuning fork for green first. We're going to strike the tuning fork for green. I want you to focus that frequency in there, focusing that frequency in there. And as you focus that frequency in there, all the cells come back online, no longer being blocked. All those lower density feelings and emotions that were not ours just all fall away. The suicidal thoughts, the depression, the anxiety, the self-doubt, they all just fall away. Your adrenal system starts to function again properly, starts to balance. You can feel that strength, that loving connection, the forgiveness, the gratitude and trust coming back in, and your passion for life again. And as I strike the blue tuning fork, focus that frequency in there. As that blue frequency goes swirling through, bringing everything back into balance, you can feel that energy flowing through the heart space, in through the left and out through the right. Good flow of energy as that toroidal magnetic energy field grows bigger and stronger. You're able to speak your truth. You're more self-aware. Everything comes back online as all those energy centers align and balance. How does that feel since we lifted that off? Beautiful. Let's have the healing teams continue to work on that area. Let us continue with our scan, and let's scan down the body again, looking for any other low-level dense energy that should not be there. Any pains or sensations, feelings or discomforts. Let me know if you find anything.
It's in the area of the solar plexus.
Mm-hmm. And what sensation do you feel there?
Like a tightness or a restriction.
Mm-hmm. Let's have Archangel Michael place that net of white light around the tightness and restriction in the solar plexus area, all the way around where that energy exists and is attached. And now that it's in the light, the net of light, what color do you sense that to be?
Yellow.
I'd like to speak to that yellow energy causing the tension and the restriction in the solar plexus. I'd like to speak to it. And if it had anything to say to me, what would it say?
You can't.
Again, this is a free will universe. And what is it that you're doing in this one, saying I can't or he can't?
Blocking the doorway.
Mm-hmm. Why are you blocking the doorway?
Yeah. He's trying to connect
Mm-hmm.
all the chakras together.
Yeah. And so you're blocking the doorway. Do you ever remember a time having a human body or any body?
No.
Who sent you here to block the doorway? Who sent you here?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It might be him.
Yeah. Tell me more about that. It might be him. How did he create you?
He feels lacking
Mm-hmm.
in taking action
Mm-hmm.
in certain areas of his life.
Yeah. Since he created you, you are of the spark of light or source. And since you've been there, what issues have you caused to him?
The sensation, it's a burning sensation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a guide to show him.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to open the third chakra.
Yes. And when you say the third chakra, which chakra are you referring to?
The solar plexus.
Mm-hmm. And why were you blocking it? What was causing you to block it? Why were you to block it?
He thinks it's part of his path.
Mm-hmm.
It's like lessons.
Yeah.
The lessons are to relate to people,
Yeah.
to see in other people himself.
So how old was he and what was going on in his life when you got in there, when you were placed there?
Seems like it's been there almost his whole life.
Hmm. What was he, what was he going through when you were put there? What was happening in his life at that young age?
I think this happened at birth.
Hmm. And so,
Yeah, it
go,
seemed maybe picked up from his mother.
I see. And so if you were picked up from his mother, who sent you to his mother first? Who was it that sent you there to do this?
I see a male figure.
Hmm. What is it about this male figure? What else do you see? Describe him to me.
It looks like a being of some sort. It's black in the middle with light around it.
Hmm. And what did this dark being, this male figure, want you to do?
Wants me to see wants me to see a feeling or an emotion.
Hmm.
It wants me to notice.
Yeah. What emotion is that?
It feels like burning. It's tension.
Hmm.
It's holding on.
What else? What other issues do you cause to keep his third chakra from opening?
It's just the tension. He won't relax.
Hmm.
It's in his upper back.
Yeah.
He's flexing his upper back right now.
Yeah.
And this is the tension that he holds in his shoulders and his back.
I see.
And he's starting to get there.
Hmm.
He's noticed it.
And what other physical or emotional issues might you cause to this one?
It's the sensation goes from the solar plexus up um, the center of the chest.
Hmm.
It's also like tension or anxiety.
Hmm. So by blocking the doorway in the third chakra, the solar plexus, you're keeping those other chakras from opening up and balancing.
Yeah, he couldn't go up through the bottom.
Hmm.
He came through the heart
Yeah.
to get here.
Uh-huh. I see.
So he's worked his way down and up, but there's a block in the middle.
Hmm. I see. Is there any other issues that you might be causing to him?
No, it's just this.
Okay. Beautiful. So do you understand that you don't have to keep doing this any longer? Do you understand that man that was in that dark figure, dark being, doesn't have permission to tell you what to do either? Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Do you? And since this one has asked me here to help him, I in turn can help you. Are you wanting us to help you?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm holding on very tightly though.
I understand. You don't have to do this any longer, and you can do something else if you choose. Let's have the angels that are gathered around you. They're going to show you an image or maybe give you a message of what you might possibly could be doing, what your journey is going to look like if you choose for it. What do they show you or say to you?
I'm seeing like a galaxy or like a sun,
Hmm.
and that's my nature.
Yes. And how does that make you feel to see that, the nature of the sun again?
It makes me feel like that's my true nature.
Hmm. Yes. You lost that, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. So are you ready for us to help you out of this one so you can go back to your true nature?
Yes.
Beautiful. So what I'd like you to do is I want you to look deep inside your beingness. I'm not sure what you look like, but I want you to find that tiny spark, the spark of source. Tell me when you find that spark.
Yeah, I found it.
Beautiful. Now let's ignite that spark. Let's make that spark bigger than what you are. Completely surround yourself in your own power, your own source, light. Wrap yourself in it. How does that feel again?
Good.
Beautiful. So you're ready to experience more to this and get back to your true nature?
Yes.
Beautiful. I'm going to count backwards from 3 to 1. We're going to send a pulse of blue light through that net I have you wrapped in. This is going to help you to disconnect. I want you to help the angels pull all of your energy out of this one. Put it into the net. Everywhere you're attached, pull it out, place it into the net, and the angels can help you. And I want this one to feel this open up as we lift this off. 3, sending that pulse of blue light, swirling through the net. This energy's detaching. They're pulling all the energy out, placing it into the net. It's all into the net. This one can feel that energy center open back up again. The energy starting to flow. It's all in the net now. Let's gently lift out now 2, almost out, and 1, out in the lightest source with the angels. But before you go, is there anything you'd like to tell this one?
Thank you, and I'm sorry.
Beautiful, thank you. Is there anything this one would like to tell this energy before it goes?
Be free.
Beautiful. Let's go ahead and let's cut that final cord between these two, cutting that cord, releasing that energy to go into the lightest source with the angels so we can heal and go on another journey that it chooses. As we watch it go into the light to heal, what color light can we bring in for healing for you?
Orange and yellow.
Beautiful. I'm going to strike the orange tuning fork first. Flow that orange, beautiful orange frequency through there. And as that frequency flows through, you can feel all those lower density feelings and emotions just fall away. They were not ours. They just all fall away. You can feel that energy center of the sacral opening up with that beautiful orange frequency, and that energy can flow upwards now. You feel all your creativity and joy, your sensuality coming back online. And as that beautiful orange energy flows up into the solar plexus, I'm going to strike the yellow tuning fork. And I want you to feel that beautiful yellow frequency flowing in to the solar plexus. And as it flows into the solar plexus, you can feel your self-confidence, your inner power, your fire, your passion, your warmth, your sense of humor, your playfulness, your confidence, your self-esteem coming back online, no longer blocked, no longer a gatekeeper there, keeping the energy from flowing, and that energy continues to flow through the solar plexus as your internal fire, your spark becomes very hot and bright and warm. It flows up into the heart the way it's supposed to go. How does that feel since we took that off?
Feels more open now.
Beautiful. So let's have the healing teams continue to heal and bring that back into balance. And let us continue with our scan and scan down the body, looking for any other low-level dense energy that should not be there. Any pains or sensations, feelings or discomforts. Let me know if you find anything.
No, I don't see anything else.
Beautiful. So let's go ahead and let's wrap that net of light around the entire body, around the energy centers and the energetic field. It's a very large net. Wrap that net all the way around, that beautiful net of white light. What we're going to do is we're going to pass a blue light, brilliant blue light up through that net. And this is going to bring anything to the surface that we might have missed. I want you to visualize this blue light flowing in through the feet, moving up through the legs, around the legs, up into the root chakra, around the root chakra, up into the sacral chakra, around the sacral chakra, up into the solar plexus chakra, around the solar plexus chakra, into the heart chakra, around the whole heart chakra, moving up into the throat chakra, all around the throat chakra, and up into the third eye chakra, all the way around the third eye, and moving up into the crown, around the crown, all the way around the crown and then out the crown. And as we did this bring anything to the surface that we might have missed?
No, that's all.
Beautiful. I'd like to speak to this one's higher self. May I speak to this one's higher self, please?
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you for joining us today in this healing session. I'd like you to do a scan of this one's body and make sure that we removed all the entities that we need to remove today. Let me know if we're clear or not.
Yes, we're clear.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Is there any AI or implants that are not for his best and highest good that we need to remove today?
I'm seeing to the left hip, just above the buttocks, and the behind the right ear.
And who had placed those AI or devices? What's there?
The one behind his ear came in a dream.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a little machine or a robot.
Mm-hmm. How does it affect him? The one behind the ear.
It doesn't seem like it seems like it's like a tracker or something,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not affecting him negatively.
Yeah. And who had placed this tracker behind his ear?
Thing he did.
Mm-hmm. Is this one that's behind the ear? Does this need to be removed or is it supposed to stay in place?
I think it can stay there. It's not causing any problems.
Mm-hmm. And why did he place this tracker there? What is it supposed to do for him?
But it seems like it's like a link to something.
Mm-hmm. And what does it link him to?
It links him to a state, a meditative state
Mm-hmm.
that he was in before he fell asleep.
Beautiful. So he can use this to keep him linked in to get into that deep meditative state when he needs?
Yes, he'll access it before it goes to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. So we're to leave the one that's behind the ear?
Yes,
Beautiful. We just needed to understand it.
yes.
And the one that's in the left hip, what is that doing there? Or why was that placed?
I'm not sure why that one's there.
Let's look deeper at it.
It says foreign.
Yes. And who was it that placed it there?
Programming.
Let's say that again.
It's programming.
Programming. What programming had placed it there? Is there one in particular?
Television.
Mm-hmm. And how old was he when that was placed? When it got there?
Early teens, like 14 or 15.
Mm-hmm. And is that a device? Does it look like a device?
Yeah, it looks like a chip.
Mm-hmm. And how has that been affecting them since it's been there?
It can cause him pain.
Mm-hmm.
It makes him sit down and watch TV again.
Mm-hmm. And is there anything else that it causes or does?
Like a disruption in his field.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a distraction.
What would you like to use to remove this today?
I think we can pull it out with a magnet.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and take that beautiful magnet of light. Let's go ahead and pull it out. Pull it out. When it comes out, it's handed off to the angels and the healing team so they can transmute it into high frequency and vibration. Take it away from here. Let me know when that's done.
It's done.
Beautiful. Do we need to send any healing light into that area to help heal that area?
Yeah, white light.
Beautiful. I'm going to strike the tuning fork for white light. Let's focus that frequency in there to fill in that void and break up that programming that might have been there. Let's Just watch it just get all washed away. Anywhere it was attached, that white light floods in, changes it. How does that look now?
Clear.
Beautiful. Is there any black magic that we need to take off of this one?
I'm feeling the heart right away.
Mm-hmm. And who would place this magic here in the heart?
His wife.
Mm-hmm. I'm just assuming that it was unintentional.
Done through music.
Mm-hmm.
It's partially his fault because he reads into music lyrics pretty
Yeah.
deeply.
Mm-hmm.
It's just her way of expressing her emotions.
Yeah.
There's a bit of confusion there because she always says, she talks about how good she is at expressing herself and her emotions,
Mm-hmm.
but she really isn't. So she uses other things and he just isn't quite seeing it yet. He's just starting to see it.
Yeah.
So the music is a way for her to express negative emotions in particular,
Mm-hmm.
in this case,
Yes.
but also positive emotions.
And so those negative emotions were turned into black magic that was placed onto this one.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's partially his responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And he's seen something, a video about the interpretation of synchronicities
Mm-hmm.
and how it's, if it doesn't serve you, you need to leave it. So he needs to start leaving negativity alone.
Yes.
He feeds too much into it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's holding him back.
Beautiful. And how else is this black magic? How else does it affect him before we take this off?
Causes delusions in his perception.
Mm-hmm.
It's also tied to fear.
Yes.
It's like it's fueled from fear.
Yes.
So the stronger the fear gets, the more and stronger the delusions get.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also starting to see the really strong delusions. He can notice them now because they're getting to be to the point where they're so far-fetched that he knows they're fake.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all going to tie into his fear.
Is there anything else we need to understand about this before we remove it?
It's part of teaching her a lesson for him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he understands now, so it can go.
Beautiful. And what kind of protection should he use to keep this from happening in the future, moving forward?
He needs to continue meditating daily,
Mm-hmm.
get into nature as much as he can,
Yeah.
and catch things when he feels energy is off.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to do something about it sooner. The longer he waits, the bigger the potential of energy is going to be. So if it's a negative energy
Mm-hmm.
and he waits, the potential just gets bigger and bigger. So if he knows the energy's off, then it's time to address it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a small problem
Right.
because he has difficulty dealing with the bigger problems.
Mm-hmm. And what's the best way for him to release that energy and take it off?
He dissolved.
Mm-hmm. He just has to envision and intend for it to dissolve and that will address it?
Yeah, it looks like it can be taken off by like a light or a ray,
Mm-hmm.
a certain color,
Yeah. What
and
color?
I will take it all. I'm seeing pink.
Beautiful. So would you like to use the pink frequency to take this black magic that's there off this time?
Yeah, yes.
I'm going to strike that tuning fork. Let's envision that being washed away, just dissolved. Intend for it to just disperse as that pink frequency just changes into high frequency and vibration and sends it out to the universe in a high frequency to be used elsewhere. Let me know when that's completely dispersed.
We're clear.
Beautiful. Is there any negative energy cores that need cut that's no longer serving his best and highest good?
I'm seeing one on the belly button.
Mm-hmm. And how did this get attached?
Mother?
Mm-hmm. And what issues is it causing to him since it's been attached?
Like an emotional tie to the relationship with his mother.
Mm-hmm.
He feels like there's a responsibility there that is not
Mm-hmm.
his anymore.
Mm-hmm. What is it we need to share with him to help him to understand that it's not his responsibility?
When there's tension between his mom and his dad, he felt he had to protect his mother.
Mm-hmm.
But that time has passed now.
Yes.
It's no longer relevant.
Yeah. And does he see and understand that?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Is he ready? Are we ready to cut this cord?
Yeah,
Ready
it's
to cut
fair.
this cord? Beautiful. Let's give him Archangel Michael's flaming blue sword and have him cut that cord. Let's have him cut that cord, completely sever that cord. And when you sever that cord with that blue flaming sword, it sends a beautiful blue healing frequency down the length of that cord back to where it was attached. Burning it back to this one, dissolving it, burning it back to this one, healing as we go. And burning it and healing it all the way back to the mother, sending her healing energy as well. How does that look now?
Yeah, that looks good.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Is he cleaning clear now at this time?
Yes, he is.
Beautiful. I'd like to do a chakra balance and rebuild. Is that appropriate at this time?
Yes.
Thank you. And as you make your way down this path and further into the garden, you'll see what appears to be a magic portal open up to you. This magic portal is for you. And on the other side of this magic portal is a place, a scene, a lifetime we need to see today to make the very best sense of the lifetime we're living now. Describe to me what that portal looks like.
It looks like almost like a puddle when you throw a rock into a pond or something. It's like ripples.
Beautiful. What colors do you see in that ripply?
Mostly purple and blue.
Beautiful. So we're going to walk through this portal. As I count from 3 to 1, we're going to walk up to the portal. We're going to place our hand through the portal and feel those beautiful purple and blues wrapping all around your hand. We're going to walk through the portal and then on to the other side into that scene we need to see today. 3, walking up to the portal, placing your hand through the portal and feeling those beautiful ripples of blue and purple all around your hand. Walking through the portal, 2, almost through the portal, and then 1 onto the other side. Tell me what you see, sense, feel, or experience.
So I'm in space.
Hmm. Beautiful. And as you look down at where your feet would be, what do you notice about your feet?
I don't have any. I'm just like a ball of energy.
Mm-hmm. And is there a color associated with this ball of energy?
Bright yellow.
Uh-huh. Beautiful. What happens next is this bright yellow ball of energy in space. What happens next?
Seems like a galaxy
Hmm.
from overhead
Yeah,
that's spinning, and I have to go into it.
beautiful. Let's go into that galaxy. Tell me what you see or notice or feel as you go into that galaxy.
This is how you travel,
Hmm.
and space isn't like an orb like this.
Beautiful. Where do you go to next as you go through that galaxy?
I'm picking a solar system.
Hmm. And how do you choose which solar system you're going to?
I just know because I'm going home.
So your thoughts and intention take you to that place, a home.
Yeah, it's like I just magnetically drawn there.
Hmm. Let's collapse time and space and let's be at that home that you speak of. Tell me what you see, sense, feel, or experience.
It looks like I'm standing in front of a home.
Hmm.
It's all windows on the front.
Yeah,
There's a big garden in the front. I'm standing in the middle of the garden.
beautiful. Let's focus on yourself a minute. When you look down at where your feet would be and you're standing in that garden, how do your feet appear to you?
They look like ostrich foot or something.
Hmm. Beautiful. And as you scan up your body, what do you notice about your body?
It turns into almost like a human body,
Hmm.
a little bit different.
Do you get a sense that you're male or female?
Male.
Do you get a sense that you're wearing any type of clothes?
Yeah, I have on like this gray synthetic shorts. It almost looks like plastic, but it's not.
Hmm.
And then a shirt that looks the same.
Yeah. And are you carrying anything in your hands or wearing any jewelry?
I have no jewelry on. There's a armband on my left arm.
Hmm.
It's like I guess it would be like jewelry. Yeah.
Hmm. Describe to me this armband.
Um, it's black, almost like a gunmetal kind of,
Hmm.
and it's got texture on it, like fish scales,
Yeah.
and it looks. I think it's a snake actually.
Hmm.
It's like a carving of a snake on this
Yes.
piece of jewelry.
And using all of your knowing, what's the significance of this?
It's because we're in the year of the snake right now.
Hmm.
The significance is to try and achieve balance.
Hmm. And is there any jewels or stones on that armband?
No, it's just precious metal.
Hmm. Using all of your knowing, what type of metal is this?
Titanium?
Hmm. Now imagine, if you will, a magic mirror. And when you look into that magic mirror, describe to me your face.
Look, I have like a huge aura around my head,
Hmm.
It looks almost like a headdress that natives would wear,
Hmm.
but it's made out of light.
Yeah. What is your,
Um,
go
my
ahead.
face looks like a the face of a gray would look like,
Hmm.
but like more. It's got a lot of. It's very defined.
Yeah.
Like my skull is very like almost like cross between a gray and a Neanderthal.
Hmm.
I have really big black eyes.
Yeah. Beautiful. And are you wearing anything on your head?
No,
What
I
what
have
does your,
no hair.
beautiful. Mouth, ears, do you have those?
Yeah, it's strange though. It's almost like I'm translucent or something.
Hmm.
And
Beautiful.
it's like if I want to see, it's almost like I can see myself how I want to see myself.
Hmm.
If I want to see a mouth, then I can.
Yeah.
But if I don't, then it's not there.
Beautiful. As you're standing in front of your home in this garden, how would you describe that garden and home? What does it look like?
The garden is arranged in a semicircular fashion,
Hmm.
and the plants in the garden are arranged with the shortest ones in the front and the highest ones in the back. And they're also arranged in color.
Hmm.
So it looks kind of like has like a rainbow effect to it.
Yeah.
The house looks like it's like a passive solar house.
Hmm.
It's all glass on the front, and it's built into the side of the hill, so it blends in with nature.
Hmm.
It looks like it's made out of some kind of a wood or some kind of a natural material.
Yeah. Beautiful. And using all of your knowing, what's the purpose of the semicircle, the rainbow pattern of the garden? Why is it done that way?
The first reason is just aesthetics.
Hmm.
It's pleasing to the eye. The plants are arranged in such a fashion that the shortest ones get light because they're in the front.
Yeah.
It's almost like an art
Hmm.
gardening this way.
Yes.
It's like when it's like a somebody that's like a master at their craft.
Hmm.
And when you make things or build things
Hmm.
at such a level, you're putting that's like a form of love
Yeah.
for yourself. So when you put that level of craftsmanship and attention and detail and love into your creations, you're putting that out into the world.
Yeah.
And that makes a difference, mostly for yourself. It's like showing yourself love.
And is there any food in this garden grown, or is it just for flow of energy and aesthetics?
Yeah, I'm seeing like a lot of like lettuce type things, like kale, and
Hmm.
be like the purple, almost like red kale.
Beautiful.
There's all kinds of different things like succulent looking plants.
Hmm. Hmm.
There's some that I don't even recognize.
Yeah.
A lot of, I think a lot of them are like root vegetables,
Hmm.
so you can't really see.
Beautiful. And what is the purpose of building this way so the house looks like it's in nature, just flows with nature. What's the purpose of that?
Firstly, it's efficiency.
Hmm.
Secondly, it reminds you that you're part of nature, not
Yes.
separate from it. Thirdly, that you use the resources that are given to you.
Hmm.
You don't go outside of that.
Yeah.
So we're using the sun because the sun goes a certain way in the sky. We're using that
Hmm.
to light and heat the home.
Beautiful. And do you get a sense of where this is located? Where's it located? Your home.
Far away.
Hmm.
That sounds like Arcturus, or but there's an N.
Hmm.
Arcturus North.
Yeah. Beautiful. What would you like to go do next? Would you like to go in the house?
Yes.
Beautiful. Let's go into the house. How do you enter that house? Describe to me how you do that?
There's a door,
Hmm.
but I can just walk through the wall if I want to.
Hmm.
Almost like the portal that I went through.
Yeah. Which way did you choose to go through?
I opened the door and then I walked through the door while it was open just to see if I could do it.
Beautiful.
Then I closed the door behind me.
What do you do next as you enter into the house?
I'm just looking around.
Hmm. Do you get a sense that there's family there in the house?
I do have a family, but they're not there.
Hmm. What catches your eye in the house? What do you notice? What draws your attention?
It's a big open space, and there's nothing there until I need there to be something.
Hmm.
So if I need a kitchen, then a kitchen appears in the space.
Beautiful.
And then if I need it to be a living room, then like some seating appears and the kitchen disappears.
And do you get a sense of how that's accomplished? How do you make things appear and disappear as they're needed?
It seems like it's like a combination of my thought
Hmm.
and something about the house, like it's built into it or it's programmed into it.
Hmm.
Oh, it's like it collapses,
Hmm.
like a quantum field almost. Yeah, you're like playing with the quantum field.
Hmm.
So as soon as yeah, you can create. Yeah, we're on such a high level of creation that we can open up and collapse the quantum field in any way that we want to, like on demand, pretty much.
Hmm.
And it's seamless.
Hmm. And does the home feel like it has it's a living entity?
Not really, but you still recognize the fact that all the materials had a consciousness,
Hmm.
and they still do in a sense.
Yes. And
So, like if it was wood or a tree, if the wood came from a tree, that tree had consciousness at some point.
hmm.
And it's not completely dead just because it's not a living tree anymore.
Hmm. And do you feel like you're connecting into the consciousness of the house because we're all connected, and that's how things either collapse or expand as you need them?
Yeah, if I stand there, it feels like there's like a field around me.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's almost like the house is reading my field and I'm reading the house's field.
Hmm.
And it's like a symbiotic relationship, kind of.
Yes. Let's go back to when you looked at yourself in the mirror and you felt you had an aura around, looked like a headdress, but it was light. What color was that again?
It's the outside of it is yellow,
Hmm.
and then it goes white, blue, green, purple. I think that's it.
Hmm. Beautiful. And do you feel as if that aura connects into the home?
Yeah, everything's all connected.
Hmm.
Like literally everything is connected.
Beautiful. And using all of your knowing, where's your family at this time?
They're studying, I guess. They're
Beautiful.
off in their own places. They have like their own missions, or yeah, I guess you can call it a mission. It's like a bunch of objectives they're trying to achieve to get to a goal, or not a goal, but it's like another level of consciousness, I guess, or knowing. Yeah, they're trying to achieve higher
Yes.
levels of knowing.
Hmm. And do they stay with you at this home or do they have their own separate places?
Yes, they'll come back here eventually.
What happens next, or where would you like to go next? What do you would like to see?
Being shown the sun of our solar system.
Hmm. Describe to me that sun. What does it look like?
It's huge.
Hmm.
It's got like craters on it and stuff.
Yeah.
I can see fields around. I can see the fields around the sun moving.
Hmm.
They're like spinning.
Yes.
It's like a toroidal field.
Hmm. What is the significance of those fields around your sun? What do they do?
I'm getting the sense that the sun is trying to have its own knowing.
Hmm.
And the fields are trying to gather information from its surroundings.
Hmm.
Or I think what's happening is people are sending their information to the sun and the fields pick it up.
Hmm.
And it's like growing the field
Hmm.
or making the field stronger and creating new fields.
Beautiful. And so the beings on this place help and benefit the sun as well.
Yeah, they're living in like a mutual, uh, like everything's in its place.
Hmm.
Everything belongs. Everything is working cooperatively.
Hmm.
Everything and everybody contributes in some way. That there's nothing that doesn't matter. Everything has some significance.
Hmm. What else do we need to learn or understand about the sun in your system? Or maybe the home or the garden? Is there anything else that we need to learn or understand?
Like a two-dimensional circle tipping back and forth.
Hmm.
It almost looks like a needle of a compass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's saying when everything is balanced, you'll know the direction.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like myself and everything around me is trying to get this compass to balance
Mm-hmm.
so we can find our direction.
Yes.
And we keep tipping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like a pendulum almost.
Mm-hmm.
And when the pendulum settles, then we'll kind of know which way we're being pointed.
And from seeing this place, what can we take with us that will help us in the lifetime we're living now? What understanding can we take with us?
There seems to be like an overall understanding of um, like being a part of something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like here when you say humans are separate from nature, they're not. They're part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And like how we have to learn to coexist with nature and cooperate with it.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like this is showing me a perfect model of how that would look
Mm-hmm.
because everything needs everything else. It's all relevant and it's all important. And as soon as one thing is discounted or not taken into account,
Mm-hmm.
the balance is thrown off. Like the
Yes.
pendulum starts going again.
Mm-hmm.
And I get the sense of like you need to be very humble and selfless to live this way.
Yeah.
Uh, but to get there, there's a lot to learn.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't just happen, it's a progression. Uh, yeah, it's like learning something. It's like a giant lesson.
Yes.
It's like a lesson for, uh, it's almost like one of the biggest lessons that you can learn, and it takes a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the hardest to learn because it takes so many different pieces and people and so many hard lessons. But it's the biggest payoff.
Mm-hmm. By seeing that, how can that help us in this lifetime that we're living now?
Uh, it's a vision for creation.
Mm-hmm.
If we can all get to a point of creation,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a major tipping point
Mm-hmm.
because to get to the point where you understand creation and can be a creator, there's so much that you have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get to that point, it feels like you are humble and you are selfless.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it wouldn't work. It's like it's directly connected. Like you almost like you have to go all the way around the circle just to get back where you started.
Mm-hmm.
But unless you go around the circle all the way, it's not going to work. There's no shortcut.
Yes.
It's like a journey that you have to go on.
Is there anything else that we need to see or learn from this scene? Anything else we need to go to and see?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It looks like a a sphere or an orb on a platform.
Hmm.
I feel like I need to go over there.
Beautiful. And is this near your home?
Yeah, it's relatively near, but travel isn't like it's a way you travel. It doesn't take long to get anywhere, really.
Beautiful. Be there now. Let me know what you're. Describe it to me.
It's like a, I don't know if it's like a workplace or like a community area.
Hmm.
It looks like kind of like a ship of some kind
Hmm.
because it's floating
Yeah.
in air. It's very strange looking. I've never seen anything like it. It looks almost like one of those deep water submarines, like for that two people can go in.
Hmm.
Or it's like, but the whole top of it is a bubble,
Hmm.
and it's not clear glass. It's like glowing pink, and it looks like I don't know if it's some kind of an energy field or something.
Hmm.
And the bottom of it looks like metal of some kind,
Yes.
but it's like pointed and stuff. It's so odd.
Hmm. And using all of your knowing, do you get inside of this?
Yeah, you could just float through the wall.
Hmm. And how big is it? How many people could be in there?
This one looks like you could probably put 20 or 30 people.
Hmm. And
And
what
there's like
happened?
levels. It's actually organized just like my garden was on the inside.
Yeah.
So there's like a row at the bottom at the front, and then like almost like a stadium, you know,
Hmm.
how the
Hmm.
seats go from front to back.
Yes.
So it's like that.
And what happens in this place? Tell me what happens next. Let's go inside it.
Yeah, it's a gathering area.
Hmm.
Mm, I don't know if this is like a government or like a place to organize things.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a meeting space to organize events.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, it's just like a general community space that you can work in or organize things, or
Hmm.
it's like a multi-use facility kind of.
Beautiful. And is there a meeting or a gathering going on now?
There's a few people there, or beings, I guess.
Hmm. Tell me more about what they look like. Do they appear to be the same as you?
Kind of similar, but like made up of different parts of animals, like we would think.
Hmm.
Like one looks like it has like the top of a squid almost,
Yeah.
but still has arms and legs like a
Hmm.
human would.
Hmm. What what
Some of
happens?
them kind of just float. They don't have to walk.
Uh-huh. Let's let's speak to the how many people, how many beings are there?
I'm seeing one in front of me that looks like a squid. I can talk to this one.
Beautiful. As you look into their eyes, eyes are the windows of the soul. Do you recognize those eyes?
Yeah, it's my wife.
And what does she say to you, or what does this being say to you?
Welcome.
Beautiful. And does this being in this lifetime, do they appear to be female?
I don't really know how you would tell, to be honest.
Hmm. Okay, beautiful. And as she says, welcome, what's your response? What do you say?
Say thank you. And then she's pointing at, he turns the other way and points at some, like, not points, but kind of suggests I should look that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see these circles. They're like floating discs.
Mm-hmm.
I go over and put my hands on it. It's almost like a table, but it doesn't have legs.
Yes.
And then some blue light comes out of the top. And it's like a record or something.
Mm-hmm.
I can see like words scrolling,
Mm-hmm.
like if you're scrolling on a computer.
Yeah.
And I'm going through it. And it's going so fast that it starts to look like waves,
What are these records of?
lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all the information from lifetimes.
Yes.
And then I'm hearing akashic records.
Mm-hmm. Do you get a sense of how you would use that? How it would help you?
Yeah, I can look up anything pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just scrolling through it.
Mm-hmm. Let me know when you find a record or a file that we want to look at. Let's look at one.
Okay, I see one that looks like again, it's the same shape like as my garden, kind of
Mm-hmm.
the way it's organized, but it's a bunch of different files or words. It almost looks like, hey, it looks like the trophy from when you win like the World Series. That's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the middle, there's a bright, the top middle one, there's a bright blue light. I'm supposed to open that one.
Okay. Beautiful. Go ahead and open that. When you
Okay, it
open.
opens, and then I see like a picture of an eye, like an eye, like a human eye.
Mm-hmm. What happens next?
Okay, I went in it. I couldn't figure out because I didn't see anything, but I think I went in it. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm seeing these eyes that are like not nice looking. They look like eyes of like a monster or something. Or
Mm-hmm. What is this? What is this trophy that we went into? What does it represent? What is it?
it represents family.
Mm-hmm.
Represents my family,
Yeah.
and it's like when you get. It's almost like telling me when you get to the top, you become a monster.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that means like you become so involved with the self that you're like almost unrecognizable.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like multiple, I can see multiple different eyeballs in there. So it's like there's other beings that have made it to that level.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they're just moving around in the dark.
What happens next? We can ask anyone that's around us to find out what it is. What do they say?
If you don't change, this is what you become.
Mm-hmm.
And I can just see the word change like I wrote it
Mm-hmm.
in my journal,
Yeah.
in my own handwriting.
Yeah. And what does that word change mean?
What that means. you're going the wrong way or don't go the wrong way.
Mm-hmm. Let's ask for clarification.
Don't go the wrong way. That's what it means. Don't go the wrong way.
Yes. And so their being the wrong way would be becoming the monster?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Tell us more about that. How do we choose the right way or the right path?
The right way is live. Live in harmony with nature.
Mm-hmm.
Just stop wanting things so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a thought that I had
Mm-hmm.
saying craving is suffering. Stop wanting because craving is suffering.
Yes. And so this trophy looking thing that we went into with the blue light, what was that? What did we need to take with us to understand about that?
Like a progression.
What type of progression?
It's like a trophy for, well, it's not something good. It's, I don't want to say evil, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like dark or like negative polarity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, yeah, I guess it seems like you always think you're getting somewhere. But what's at the top isn't a prize.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and now it's saying climbing up something isn't necessarily the way to go. Sometimes you have to go down, like depth. Depth is the way. It's not like climbing a ladder.
Yeah.
Going in, going deeper inside.
Mm-hmm. So does that mean going deeper inside ourselves to find the answers?
Yes.
Beautiful. And how can that be achieved?
You have to do the work. You have to learn to follow. You have to learn to work with the quantum field.
Mm-hmm.
See the signs. Feel it. Feel it's right to you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't follow what feels right to you, then you're going the wrong way.
Yes. And what's the best way for us to practice that?
Living life,
Mm-hmm.
learning from our experiences, knowing when to say no,
Mm-hmm.
knowing when to give up,
Mm-hmm.
knowing when to keep pushing, which way to push. Almost like you're feeling around in the dark with your hands in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when it feels good or right, just keep going in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you run into something that doesn't feel good, then start searching again
Yes.
until it feels right, and then keep going in that way until it doesn't feel right, and then keep looking for the right. Just keep doing that.
Mm-hmm. And this teaches us discernment on things that we find.
Yeah, it's like when you burn your hand when you're a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and you learn not to do it,
Mm-hmm.
but in a much grander scale with much more moving pieces.
Beautiful. And it's all done by feeling and how that feels.
Yeah, and reflecting.
Beautiful.
Yeah, feeling through it and reflecting.
Is there anything else in the scene that we need to look at, gather, or understand? Anything else? Any other messages that we need to get?
It could come out of that file. Okay, I'm seeing one that's called masculine versus feminine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at it like I'm nervous to open it.
Yes.
I touch it because there is no right answer
Mm-hmm.
on the inside.
Mm-hmm. Tell us more about that. These vials, these trophies, or these lessons or things that we need to learn, kind of like a study.
It seemed like what my intention brought me to this certain file.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
It's almost like because you're in so in tune with the quantum field, it's like being in the information, kind of. You're like
Yes.
inside of it,
Uh-huh.
and you can surround yourself with it,
Beautiful.
and almost, yeah, you're experiencing the information.
Uh-huh. And tell me more about this masculine versus feminine file. What information do you see?
I'm seeing a yin yang single symbol,
Mm-hmm.
and then it says it's the way of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
It says balance is never achieved.
Is there anybody we can ask to elaborate on that? Why balance is never achieved?
Yeah, I'll ask the person that I'm with.
What do
They said if balance is achieved, the universe disappears.
they see?
It's like the game's over.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's like a Chinese saying, like the yin yang is two dragons fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And when they learn to stop fighting, then balance is achieved.
And is it at that point we go back to the one?
That's what it seems like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Goes back to a single point.
Beautiful.
And then a new experience starts.
Mm-hmm. Since we're in that masculine and feminine file, let's see how we can balance his family's masculine and feminine to help them, help their issues. Seems like we'd be able to find that answer in that file.
Yeah. It says he's on the path.
Mm-hmm.
This is not an easy task.
Mm-hmm.
It says because the masculine is wounded, it becomes very stubborn,
Mm-hmm.
like a rock that doesn't want to move.
Yeah.
And you can't penetrate the outside of it. So it's almost like you have to leave the rock sitting there
Mm-hmm.
and just move on. When you do that, but it's like a rock following you like a pet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you start walking away from it, it's like drawn to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like a something that's wounded just lays down and doesn't want to move.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody knows the way and just starts walking the way because they're wounded, they don't want to be by themselves, so
Mm-hmm.
they'll follow. So That's the message, is just be the change.
Yes.
That's the only way to heal it. You can't talk people into it. You can't force them to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can't carry their baggage. You just have to let go and walk your own way.
Mm-hmm.
And some will follow and some won't.
Yes. And the ones that follow, they're observing the change, they're observing our light. And does that help to heal them?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They want change. They just are in a state that they're stuck and they can't move. They're just stuck in one spot. So they just kind of mire around in the same habits and thoughts until somebody walks by
Mm-hmm.
or they see somebody doing something that they like, and then they may follow. But they also may attack that because it's different, which I've experienced. Because they don't want to change. They're afraid to change. But I just have to keep changing.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And his by his changing, that will be the stopgap to help with the family issues.
He always says kids learn by watching, not by listening.
Mm-hmm.
So if he starts doing this, the kids will notice. They'll just emulate what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And since we're in this place where we're in what appears to be the Akashic records and files, is it appropriate to ask the rest of his questions?
Yes, this is a good place for that.
Beautiful. He, he'd like to know if it's wise to stay in a situation that is rich with catalysts, but stressful and emotionally drawing.
So the stress and the emotional strife is also catalyst.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just all catalyst. You can avoid the situations, but you're going to draw out the process. The longer you stay in the catalyst, the quicker it is that you're the quicker it is that the negative parts of the house will be burnt up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a kundalini or a phoenix. It burns everything.
Mm-hmm.
The catalyst is going to burn everything that isn't needed.
Yes.
And you don't have to worry or be afraid because all that's going to be left is what you need. Everything else can go,
Yes.
even though it hurts because you're so attached to some things.
Mm-hmm.
They just need to go. So stay in the catalyst.
Yeah.
And also, if it's rich in catalyst, that's where the biggest change is going to happen.
Yes. Beautiful way to put it. Beautiful. So it's those catalysts that help us to guide us on our path and what we need to change and what needs to burn up and go.
That's right. The catalyst is going to burn what we don't need.
Beautiful. Is the physical body ailments that he has due to repressed emotions?
As part of it.
Mm-hmm. How does he release them? Is a technique to release those?
In diet, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
He knows his diet's not the best.
Yeah.
That's tied to emotions as well.
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be a hard hurdle to get over because and this can also be another form of catalyst for him.
Mm-hmm.
He uses food to suppress emotions.
Mm-hmm.
It's a habit, a long-standing habit,
Mm-hmm.
even generational. So this is another link that he can break in the chain.
Yes.
Um, his thing, the body was taken away because it was being used to suppress. Yeah, he was using it as distraction to suppress emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So it was taken away. Just like the knee. So he couldn't run anymore. We told him we don't want you running away anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the rest. He kept finding ways and finding ways and finding ways. Oh, we had to make him sit still
Mm-hmm.
and learn and look at himself and look at all the mirrors and then look at himself and look at all the mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
And he started to figure it out. So, learning how to release his emotions, working on his catalyst, diet. Uh, that'll be good enough for now. That will alleviate most of the things.
Okay.
But he also had to know that he had to focus on this work.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And is there any certain foods that he should avoid? We're speaking of diet.
Sugar, uh, white foods, except for cauliflower. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So flour, sugar, dairy, unnatural salts.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, should try to eat higher quality foods,
Yeah.
organic if possible.
Yes.
You can taste, he's starting to be able to smell and taste chemicals
Mhm.
in food, like carrots.
Yeah.
You can taste the chemicals in carrots. So
Mm-hmm.
that's going to start to turn him off of the things that aren't good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Just his heightened senses.
Yes. And to tap more into that intuition, could he use more of an intuitive diet where he's using
Yes,
muscle testing to do choices?
he's reaching for what's quick and easy at the moment.
Mm. Okay.
Take time to use your intuition
Mm-hmm.
and feel what foods you need, not what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Try to feel what you need.
What's the best way for him to practice using that intuition?
Use your senses. You can look at it, touch it.
Mm-hmm.
You can taste it. And if it tastes like you need it, then eat it.
Mm-hmm.
If it tastes like you don't need it, then you don't need to eat it.
Mm-hmm. Say,
Smell as well.
go ahead.
You can use a smell to see if there's any anything toxic on the food.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And so, say if he's in a farmer's market or a uh, grocery store where he can't taste it, what should he use then in that instance?
Put your hands on it and smell it.
Okay.
That should be enough. You can get a feel. Once you start to do this more often, you'll get a feel for the vibration of the food, because the more a food is alive, the more vibration it's going to have. It'll feel more alive, but you have to train yourself
Mm-hmm.
because we're so desensitized.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And the more he does this, the more he'll be trained and it'll happen faster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you for that. Is he'd like to know if he is perceiving the subtext he is witnessing correctly, or is it just a distortion, or is it a test?
It's a distortion.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a test.
Yeah.
He's he's bored, and it's two things. He's bored,
Mm-hmm.
so he starts making. He's looking to create things,
Mm-hmm.
so he starts creating stories
Yeah.
and situations.
Mm-hmm.
He's going negative with his creation because he's not in the right atmosphere.
Yes.
He needs to change his environment to a positive atmosphere where he can create. So he's using the distortions to push himself away from the negativity.
Mm-hmm.
He's creating situations that are negative, so he goes away from them.
Yeah. So he's creating those distortions.
He's creating the distortions.
And
He's
okay.
reading, he knows so many levels of communicating that he can twist them into whatever he wants. Anybody can do that.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to stay on a path of positive creation.
Mm-hmm. And how does he foster that environment where positive creation can happen?
Feel like we were talking, like with you walking with your hands out in front of you
Mm-hmm.
in the dark, when it starts to feel like you walk into something or you hit an impasse or it doesn't feel good, then you need to turn and go the other way
Mm-hmm.
and walk until you feel something good. You'll he'll get a better sense for doing this. He's still in the early stages, so it's hard because he's so visual with seeing. He wants to see where to go, but he's
Yeah.
not there yet.
Yes.
He'll get there eventually, but he's not. He's still like stumbling around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That kind of leads into our next one, where he seems to be having trouble recognizing when he's on the path. And how can he tell besides synchronicity?
The synchronistic events were like a pull or a reminder, or another thing he was asking for. He was looking for evidence because he didn't believe
Mm-hmm.
that this was happening to him because he was so programmed. He didn't believe it was real. He couldn't believe it,
Yeah.
and it was part of the waking up that was pretty painful. He had a lot of disillusionments happen
Mm-hmm.
in succession. Um, uh, Moving towards things that feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Start feeling the energy in the things that you do.
Mm-hmm.
If there's no energy or no drive to do it, you're going the wrong way. You hit a wall.
Mm-hmm.
Turn and go the other way until you feel the energy. Um, we explained this to him before, but he didn't understand it. So it's about finding your way on your path and using energy to guide you. Start feeling energy to guide you.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. How can he work through his fears?
Fear is going to be harder for him because it's one of his base. It might be the base emotion for him. This his psyche was built on fear, pretty much, which is sad to say. It seems like it's going to take a long time and a lot of personal work and digging into it, journaling. He's using a lot of different sources of information, which helps because he ties ideas together and then they form a thought. He's basically making pathways, he's creating his own pathway out of fear.
So he's already working through these at this time.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's got a lot of important concepts.
Is anything else?
There's going to be a balance though, because you can't completely get rid of fear. We can say he's going to have to learn to differentiate between fear that he needs and fear that he doesn't need. So we could say like a positive fear and a negative fear is one way he can work through it.
Beautiful. Thank you. What or who is the collective?
The collective appeared to him when he was attempting to channel. It appeared as not white, bands of light. This is where the information was coming from.
Yes.
The collective structure. It's a collective structure. Oh, a social complex. Yeah, so there's 6 or 7 social complexes put together to form what they call themselves the collective. It's a collective complex, a collective social complex. And in that is a lot of information similar to what's on the screen that we're reading the akashic records from now. Yes. He's accessing a social complex.
What else does he need to understand or learn about this or know about it?
It's there all the time. He has access all the time. He doesn't know how to use it. He knows how to use it. He doesn't know how to access it in lower vibrational states. But it's still there. And if he could access it in lower vibrational states, they wouldn't occur very often. Because all the information to get out of it is there, and the collective operates on a higher vibrational state anyways. So it would pull him out.
What's the best way for him to access it?
He can use his sight, close his eyes, and see the 7 bands of light. And he can just focus on that and ask questions.
Yes.
And write them down, write questions down in his journal, and then write down the answer. And then that is a part of the creative process.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Anything else that you need to share with him about that?
Bring on the questions.
Say that again.
Bring on the questions.
Beautiful. Beautiful. How can he work towards getting property or farm?
It seems like it's going to be a financial hurdle.
Hmm.
There's lots of properties and farms out there,
Yes.
and he's not picky. Envision financial security and let that pull you into your creation. So envision already being there and envision it, feel it, and let the emotion pull you towards it.
And he knows how he needs to envision that.
All you have to do is imagine yourself there, standing there, or doing whatever you want there,
Yes.
and you'll be there.
Beautiful. And that applies to many different things as
Yeah,
well.
that's just the basic rules of creation.
Mhm. So envision yourself there and being there, and then experience the emotion of being there.
Experience the emotion, and then the emotion is the magnetic pull to that future self.
Mhm. Thank you so much for that. Is there any final messages for this one?
Bring your self closer to the self you want to be or envisioning. There's a lot of energetic ties to the past. He's gotten so used to living in the past.
Hmm.
He's coming out of it now.
Yeah.
Keep seeing yourself as you want to be. It's
Beautiful.
going to be hard. One of the biggest hurdles for him is other people, especially negative people.
Hmm.
Um, but once his fear starts to get worked out,
Hmm.
the true self is going to step forward more and more.
Is there anything else, or are we complete?
We are complete.
Beautiful. I want to thank you so much for coming through today and conversing with us. I want to thank you for all the help, healing, and wisdom that you provided for us today. And now I'm asking the higher self, his team of light, his healing team, his angels to recede with much love and much thanks for all the information that they've given to us today. We're asking them to recede back into the time, space, reality, dimension, and location in which they belong with so much love and so much thanks. 9, 10, wide awake, stretching, rubbing, feeling wonderful all over. Get, yeah.
Ooh,
Shoo.
that was a good one.
That was good. That was amazing.
Yeah.
We went long on that one. Was a hard having a hard. You were so connected. I was having a hard time ending it.
Yeah, I could feel it for a while there. Like when you were asking me the questions, it was just like coming
Just
in so
flowing.
smooth. Yeah, it was flowing for sure.
This is gonna be a good one to listen back to. It's
Yeah, for
gonna be a
sure.
really good one.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there. I feel like now that just all the knowledge and stuff and all the learning that I've been doing over the past year just made such a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh,
even when we were doing the removals,
mhm.
I could start to see like where things were coming from, and yeah, a couple of them surprised me actually. How deep they were
Yeah.
made me start crying. A couple of them.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
It's a good purge when you're crying.
it is. Yeah, it's important.
So we removed John, who had killed himself. Um, we took out a loss from light entity there in the solar plexus that was blocking you from uh, expanding higher. It was like being a gatekeeper. We removed the cord attached between you and your mother. We removed some AI. We removed some black magic that was kind of put there unintentionally
Yeah,
with some music lyrics.
yeah.
So what else? What else do you think of that? What do you think?
The the journey, that was weird.
Uh,
Yeah, my feet were like had like two toes on them. They were like big bird feet.
yeah,
Like, what is this? And then the garden and the house, that's basically how I imagine like that's the kind of house that I would build. And I always
yeah.
wanted to have like a garden and a pond in the front.
Uh-huh.
Um, so yeah, that was cool. And then the how you would just like make your house how you wanted it,
Yeah,
just like collapsing the quantum field and like opening it up to make
yeah.
whatever you want in your house. I thought that was pretty cool too.
I did. I should have asked about. I just come to my mind now. Maybe I should have asked about how of course, you had the garden growing out front, which was food as well. But
Yeah,
I was kind of wondering how, if you can collapse the things you need in the house, can we do that with food and anything we need to?
that's interesting thought.
I
Yeah.
should have asked that.
Hmm. I wonder if you even need to eat at all there.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know. And then looking at the sun, that was cool too. It was like you could see like the toroidal field,
Hmm.
but it was like there was like lines moving
Hmm.
across, like they were going around.
Yeah.
And that was like it was like information or energy, I guess,
Hmm.
that the sun was collecting,
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So definitely way different than our sun looks here in this realm.
Yeah, it was. I kept seeing purple
Uh-huh.
all the time, but my mind was like, that doesn't make sense. It can't be like that. But it's like, why not?
Yeah, of course it can.
Yeah. So I kept seeing a purple sun
Uh-huh.
and it looked like the moon. Actually, it had like craters on it and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, my mind kept turning it yellow Be- because I thought if the sun was purple, then like it would have purple sunlight
Uh-huh.
or something. Like I was trying to make sense of it when I can't make sense of it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Conscious
Anyways,
conscious
I was,
mind fighting with
fi-
you again through
yeah, it was fighting with me a little bit there for sure.
there's no way it could be a purple sun. No way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah,
That's awesome. And then that community, kind of a community center or gathering place with had like a akashic records in was pretty awesome.
yeah, that was pretty cool too.
So you could go there and find any answer that you needed to.
Yeah, maybe it was like a library or something. Maybe that's what it was.
Well, I mean, a library could be a gathering place. I mean, it's where
Yeah,
community goes to find answers and discuss things and talk. So
yeah,
absolutely. That's
yeah,
awesome.
that was neat. But I found it funny too when I saw like the other being there, and it
Uh-huh.
kept like turning towards the table. Like, hey, you need to go over here now. You need to go over there. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, why does he keep turning like that? Or why does she keep turning? You need to
Mhm.
go over there.
Yeah.
I walked over and it's neat because I'm starting to learn how to like navigate in that.
Hmm.
And it's like it'll just give you like a little word or it'll
Uh-huh.
show you something. And it's like you can't have the whole thing yet.
Yeah.
Like you got to do this,
Uh-huh.
and then you can do that, and then you can do that. So I kind of went with that. Like they kept turning, go to the table. Okay, I went to the table. Then it's like, put your hands on. And I was like, okay. And then I put my hands on. And then boop, the whole screen came up. And it was just like, I think it was trying to show me how much information was in it.
Uh-huh.
Like it was scrolling, but it was going so fast
Yeah.
that it started to look like, like an airplane propeller.
Yeah.
It's spinning, and it almost looks like it's not spinning. It was
Uh-huh.
kind of like that. Like it was going so fast, it almost didn't look like it was moving.
Interesting. Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. And you always have access to that anytime you need it.
Mhm.
You just got to get into the right
Yeah, just
meditative
go
state.
there.
Just go there.
Yeah.
Ask any questions and go there.
Yeah. I thought that was neat too, because I've done that before, writing questions in a book and
Hmm.
then just like getting quiet and see what answer I get
Hmm.
and just writing it down, just like for fun. But
Yeah.
obviously there's more to it than just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some automatic writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
It's
done
awesome.
lots of that too. Just like
Yeah. Just
starts
going.
coming out, you're almost just scribbling on the page, right?
Yeah. But in this case, you're describing, you could just write down a question and just then write down the answer. You just tap into it, get the answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's awesome. What else? What else? Anything else stand out to you?
Um,
It's going to be an interesting one to watch back, that's for sure.
yeah, that was, yeah, I was, yeah, I was feeling it there for sure.
A lot of things that, might didn't really couldn't get out in words will actually come back to you too, because you're seeing a lot more stuff than you can actually describe in words.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Uh, so,
One thing that I thought was pretty interesting too is that my questions all like flowed into each other.
uh-huh. Yeah, they did.
And I was realizing that while I was like, I didn't do that on purpose,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
but like obviously something, for some reason, that happened that way.
right.
Um, so I thought that was really neat, actually. They
And,
they like all built on each other.
and the whole journey actually kind of built into the questions as well too, because we're looking at the Akashic records, so
Right.
let's start asking these questions.
Yeah, that's right. That's where we ended. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
it's awesome. It was good.
Yeah. Yeah, so
So
cool.
it just all flowed real nicely.
It did. Yeah.
That's beautiful. What do you think about sharing this on YouTube?
Yeah, we could do that.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
I'll have you watch it back. You give me the decision whether or not you want the video on or not,
Yeah.
um, or if there's anything that you might want to take out. But I
Okay,
think
sounds good.
it'd be a good one to share on YouTube. I think a lot of people get some help from this and get some answers for themselves too.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So,
I
so
agree.
you just let me know for sure if there's anything you want taken out or not, and just let me know, and I'll get it posted.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
I'll review it.
Oh, that's awesome. What
Yeah.
is it? It was the same thing with balancing or helping with the masculine and feminine in your family. Was you need to be the way shower, the leader, and just go. Just don't worry about them. Leave them like a pet rock, and they'll follow if they want to.
Yeah, that was funny. I started walking away and the rocks started rolling behind me. uh,
Well, that's perfect. It was beautiful.
yeah, it was good. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, well, you know the drill. Make sure you drink plenty of water. Get all the rest you need if you feel like you need it.
Yep.
I always feel like I do. I have a full body workout once I'm finished with the session. For some reason, I just need to rest.
Yeah, man. It's lots of energy moving around, eh?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of them. I always say like emotional stuff too kicks the crap out of you
Yeah. Yeah.
because we're not really used to hanging out there, right?
Right. Absolutely. And some people do have more energy after a session too, as well. So it just varies on the person and what you're going went through and what you did. And
Yeah.
so,
I feel like this one was a lot smoother than the last one I did.
yeah, it was
The
good.
last one was like a lot of little things, and this one was like a few bigger things.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It all had a common theme, and you're a nature guy, so make sure you get out in nature and ground too.
Yeah, I will.
After this session, get
Yeah,
grounded
for
out.
sure.
Perfect. So, if anything, if you have any questions or anything, just make sure you hit me up and let me know any changes, anything going on,
Okay, will do.
and
Appreciate it.
I'll see you again soon sometime. That'll be good.
Yeah, for sure. It's good to
All
have
right.
another guy to bounce things off of, right?
Absolutely.
Right on.
Absolutely. Cool. I'll talk to you soon, brother. Love you.
Sounds good. Love you too.
All right.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye.